I find myself in the unenviable position of speaking up on behalf of all travelers on the road who are vulnerable and could, when they least expect it, become the next victim of an Underride crash. Jerry and I had the opportunity yesterday to tour the Research and Design Center of Great Dane, a trailer manufacturer. As their guests, we were able to spend the entire morning hearing about what they are doing with regard to quality control and safety, including Underride guards, which they voluntarily produce to meet or even exceed Canadian standards, thus surpassing current U.S. federal standards. We were able to ask questions and share our concerns about the inadequate standards for Underride guards, otherwise known as rear impact guards. We are perhaps better suited to ask those questions than just about anyone. After all, we recently had 2 daughters die because the car they were in rode under the back of a semi-trailer. It was an informative day, and we heard what seemed to be genuine comments that cost is not a factor, and safety is important to us, and we are not competitive about safety. But what we did not see was a tangible plan to carry out their verbal commitment to create the best possible Underride protection. We provided them with several documents, all of them being public information, which included a study which was published in 2010 and indicated the ways in which Underride guards were failing. There was also a March 2011 IHHS publication and which reported on crash tests performed on major trailer manufacturers, indicating areas where their Underride guards failed to withstand crashes. There was a third document that was a similar report published in March 2013 that was on another round of crash tests in which the majority of the trailer manufacturers were once more unable to pass all of the tests. Now, it's understandable, amid the multitude of demands and the tyranny of the urgent, that without a ready solution, in fact one which would require time and money to develop, this problem has not been given much attention. But if those who bear responsibility for making sure that this problem gets solved one way or another had lost 2 of their beloved children or any other loved one, I can guarantee you that they would have moved heaven and earth to find a way to prevent Underride. What makes it even more distressing is that there are many individuals and organizations who truly seem concerned about safety, including the Department of Transportation, the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, and the trailer manufacturers. Yet, from what I can see, very little communication has taken place to move this problem forward from point A, that is, guards that fail and result in death and or horrific injuries, to point B, that is, coming up with a better design that will provide the best protection possible. Great Dane, one of the major trailer manufacturers, observed that they passed all but one of the crash tests, the narrow overlap. Great Dane also noted that their guard appeared to perform better on the full overlap test than Mannix, which was the only company to pass all 3 tests in 2013. So Great Dane does not want to make a change which will strengthen one section of their guard but weaken another section. That's understandable. So tell me, why aren't we getting anywhere? What will it take for an improved design to be researched and developed? The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety has done extensive quasi-static crash tests as well as analysis of large truck crash information, and they are in fact champing at the bit, hoping to do further testing as improvements are made. Yet, we are told, Great Dane has not yet seen the details of their previous crash test results. We have found DOT to be very cooperative and interested in moving forward to introduce safety measures. We know that political debate can often tie their hands and cause delays. At the same time, we are told that DOT has not responded to repeated petitions by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety for improved Underride guard standards. Great Dane, one of the major trailer manufacturers, tells us that safety is a priority to them. They even told us that they want to know how they can petition DOT to improve the Underride guard standards. But the unfortunate reality is that there is not yet a new design. There is no improved guard. And Great Dane represents perhaps 12% of the market. What about the rest of the trailer manufacturers? When will they have a design which will produce safer guards? On our trip home from Savannah to Rocky Mount, North Carolina yesterday, Jerry and I rehashed the morning's events. We spent considerable time observing the many trailers which we saw on the road, and I took numerous photos of the various designs and conditions of the Underride guards which we saw. While at Great Dane, Jerry had made a few suggestions for improving the guard design. He suggested putting foam in the horizontal bar. Another idea he put forth was to install panels with airbags to the existing guard, providing an additional barrier energy absorption solution. Whether these ideas or something else, surely a more effective design can be created. So, in trying to process what we learned at the meeting, I kept thinking over and over, could an independent work group of qualified individuals, such as an engineering school, take on the challenge of creating such a design, which could then be tested by IHHS, proposed to DOT to aid in defining improved rear guard specifications, and provided to all trailer manufacturers? Could we do some kind of crowdfunding or grant proposal to obtain the necessary funds to support such an endeavor? Could we perhaps even approach the Truck Trailer Manufacturers Association and ask them to seek contributions from their members for such a project? Is cost truly not a factor? Is safety really a priority and not a competitive matter? Is it possible to improve the communication necessary to prevent more unnecessary deaths? Can we sit down at the table together and work this out?